Guys, ever since the Prince Harry biography came out, I've been so obsessed with the word Todger. Todger. Okay guys, I have a very exciting announcement. I have basically decided to take my final 2 brain cells and become a scammer of parking spots. So how do we get here? To put a very long and very senile story short, my parking neighbor, who is geriatric, basically decided to set up a camera recording me in my car every single day, watching it every single day. Why, you might ask? Because he wanted me to park in the handicap spot that's next to my spot, because his girlfriend apparently has the fine motor skills of a pencil sharpener and could not park within her lines. Anywho, I get this new spot, which was formerly a visitor spot. So ever since I get the new spot, Bustafer Joneses have been parking in it left and right, even though it says my number in new paint. Well, anyways, now we're getting some form of construction, some form of tree cutting, tree trimming, whatever those men are doing these days. And they parked in my spot. They did it on Thursday, and one of the maintenance workers came up to me. P.S. My leasing agents and my maintenance staff is so kind and everything. And one of them came up to me and he said, you know, I know they parked in your spot. I called them and I'm still waiting on a response. So I was like, you know what? I appreciate it. It's not your fault in this situation. One night, okay? And then the next day they had moved it for a little while because they were doing something. 3 p.m. rolls around and the tree men are back in my spot. Okay, before anybody gets on my Tukey saying that, is this the mountain or is this the molehill? Listen, on a surface level, yes, it is literally 2 lines of a parking spot. But when I've been harassed, recorded against my will, and literally followed around on premises, it is pretty understandable that I would want to have consistent access to a space in a specific location. I'm sure we're all adults here, but just in the event there's a toddler in the crowd, just wanted to clear that up. Visitor spots are sparse because every single weekend, everybody decides to throw an MLM pyramid scheme initiation party. And so there's already no spots, on top of the fact that there are not 1, but 2. There's a Bustafer and a Dustafer Jones who have cars that are either abandoned or not being used at all, that they have just kept on that lot. Long story short, if you are not back by 5:30 p.m., there's no spot for you. I had plans with my friend tonight. We were gonna get dinner and go to the movies, which we did, but I'm not gonna come back and not have a place to park and walk all the way up in the dark, especially after I dealt with harassment on this lot already. So, you wanna know what I did? Shh. I noticed that the tree men had several construction cones. A few of these cones said, don't park, we'll be towing. And so I basically put 3 or 4 of the cones on a visitor spot that was open when I left. Anywho, I was waiting to see if my plan worked out. Excuse the toilet paper in the back. I'm sorry. I normally don't show toilet paper to my guests. That's not a privilege they're allowed. I came back from the movies and all the cones were still there.
I'm a bad bitch. Fuck the bitch. Bitch get slick. I'ma cut the bitch.
So I got to park by apartment tonight. I think I am going to continue this scheme for as long as I can. Tomorrow is, I guess, when I'll officially know if the construction team is coming back at all this weekend to, I don't know, let me park. And I'm simply going to be stealing their cones. And I'm not ashamed to admit it because you know what? I'm not about to feel unsafe any more than I already do here. And let's just remember, the only reason why I'm parking in what used to be a visitor spot is because a geriatric man and his girlfriend, whose name rhymes with electronica, decided to record me in my car every single day, which, in case you're wondering, is illegal. Is illegal. That's that. So that's how I'm becoming a scammer. And most of the time, those people piss me off, okay? I hate it when people hold the place in line, or when you're at Disney and you're 3 and someone brings up their 18 cousins to meet Mickey Mouse after you've been in line for 45 minutes. But You know what? Today is the day I'm that annoying aunt at Disneyland, because you know what? Yeah. So I just got done eating some frozen blueberries, so if I look like I just made out with Papa Smurf, that's why. But little update on my parking lot scheming, because I know that's what the world wants to hear. So I put up cones, obviously to keep the visitor spot in the first place when my actual spot was taken by construction. But then construction left on Saturday morning, so I've been parking in my spot all weekend, but I've also just kept the cones in front of my actual spot when I'm gone, because here's what happens. If I'm not there in my spot after 4 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, i.e. the nights when people do go out, someone takes my spot, and then it's 9 p.m., 8:30 p.m., and it's dark, and I'm looking for somewhere to park. And luckily, I was able to park somewhat close today, but normally my other option would be at the bottom of a whole hill. Anywho, I put up cones, okay? I went to my 4 p.m. movie. I was The Whale. It was amazing and emotionally distressing. And I come back. Some a-hole, some literal Nimrod, some manure for the brain, took the cones away completely and parked his truck there. Mine is fresh paint with my number. On top of that, there's literally cones there. So Mr. Sir had to get out of his car and everything. So I left him a note that was a lot more nice and neighborly than I wanted to be, because I think I know what neighbor did it and I really don't want to piss him off. But still, I'm like, are you people... It should be an AP exam at this rate. The way that people are so unable to comprehend my parking spot, it should be an AP exam. Apparently, this has become just the saga of my parking spot. So if y'all recall, there was a Bustifer Jones in a giant truck who decided to move my parking cones and park in my spot. So I left him a nicely worded note. It's literally, of course, like 12 minutes after my leasing office closes when I pull in. And you know who's in my spot? This truck. And there's 4 or 5 other guest spaces available. And can I park in those guest spaces? Sure. But you know what I pay for? A spot. So I left another note. It was a little bit less nice. It's frustrating to me because every single time someone parks in my spot, I am just reminded of the fact that an old man and his girlfriend decided recording me and watching me on a daily basis was an appropriate response to the fact that I didn't want them to park in my spot because I pay for my spot. And now I've been moved. They get 2 spots essentially because no one knows my old spot is a guest spot. And all the time, I deal with a bunch of... In my dreams, you guys, are filled with garages. All I see are garages. And yeah, my dreams are filled. You know what's the sexiest thing you could tell me right now?
Baby, I'm getting you a garage.
All I want for Christmas is not my 2 front teeth, it's garages. Oh my God, I want to live in a field of garages, because you know what I'm so sick of? Creepy parking neighbors and people who don't know how to park and people who park in a spot that is my spot, even though I left you a nice note several times. A lot of people ask me, how do I do this? When the chips are down, when the Cheerio bowl is empty, where do I go? Where do I stand if not couponing at the Piggly Wiggly? Today, America, I tell you, stand on your hands. Who cares about feet? When I first started this motivational speech 30 seconds ago, I didn't know where it was going. I still don't know where it was going, but I felt like with this music, we had to end on a motivational high. So that being said, Sexy and Senile, signing off.